Now, if you're anything like me, for the past year and a half you've been holed up in your home office, sitting and working away on your laptop. Really? You're doing a video about this now? I mean, you're about a year and a half too late. It's hardly news, is it? Yes, I know. It's not the most cutting edge video I've ever done, but the information in it is very important. Sure it is. All right then, let's hear it. Thank you. Yeah, so as I was saying, we've all been working from home and using Zoom, Teams, Google Meet or any other video conferencing software that has become second nature to us. But you know all of that, so let's get on to the title of this video. Now you're thinking it's a bit of a clickbaity title. Well, I don't think it is. It's absolutely true. I've sat on team conferences for hundreds of hours over the last 18 months and I'm truly sick of people talking over everyone else, the hideous noise from the built-in microphones, dropouts, muffled audio, and if I'm sick of it, then you must be too, right? Well, I'm going to give you some tips to improve that, so at least your colleagues won't hate your sound. I mean, they might hate you for other things, but not for your sound. So, join me over at the desk. Okay, so unless you have some sort of hearing impairment, and that is a special case, which I'm not going to cover here, what you sound like is much more important than what you look like. So the words that you utter need to be as clear as they can be, because most of the time we can put up with fuzzy camera images, but not with unintelligible sound. So let's start with the problem. It's the laptop. So you've got a laptop in front of you which you're doing all of your very important work on. It could be a MacBook or a Windows-based machine, or if you're working for a particularly progressive company, or Red Hat, something running Linux. Now the makeup of the laptop is largely the same, and more importantly, the positioning of everything is also largely the same. So if we take the basic anatomy of the device, the camera is either up here in the screen, or in this case it's down here for some reason, so it looks right up your nose. But the microphone isn't up here. It's down here in the base where the motherboard is, next to the fans and the clickety-clack of the keyboard. And I want to show you how bad that can sound. So I'm going to switch from the professional microphone that I'm using to record this video to the microphone on the laptop. I'm generating some extra fan noise to emulate a video call with lots of people connected to it, and I'm also going to emulate the furious typing of a really productive session at the keyboard. Now, I hope you can already tell how much worse that is in terms of sound. And if I also start typing away at the keyboard as well, then your colleagues sitting on the end of that video call are going to be starting to pull funny faces of disdain, which will continue to the point when someone picks up the courage to mute you. Okay, so this is the point in the video where I get to give you the options for getting better sound. And I must tell you up front, you're going to need to spend some money. Not a lot, but you are going to need to spend some. And before everybody goes on and says, well, John, we don't want to spend money, we want everything free. Well, I'm going to say to you that if you were an apprentice in a trade, such as an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, then from that point on you will have started accruing your tools for the work and your career. There's no difference, I believe, there's no difference if you're working in an office. You are accruing your tools of the trade for going through your career. So the things that you're purchasing to enhance your sound or other things in other areas, this is all things that you can take on to different jobs. So it's just an investment in your career. That's the way I see it anyway. So you are going to have to spend some money, but I have put a maximum and minimum on what you need to spend to get better sound. And I would say that you're starting at above £10, but you don't need to go any more than £20. No point in getting anything less than £10. You're just going to be in the same situation you are now. It's a waste of money. Between 10 and 20, you can make a difference. So all of the options I'm going to give you, with the exception of one, I believe, is going to be in that 10 to 20 limit. Now the first option I'm going to show you is a keyboard. This is the Artec HB086, as he quickly looks on the back, and it's a Bluetooth keyboard. It's quite a small Bluetooth keyboard, and it's very compact. It's well made. It's got a brushed aluminium back, or a brushed steel back. It's got little silicon feet. It charges with a built-in lithium-ion battery using USB, and it will work with Windows, Apple Macs, Linux boxes, and also iOS and Android. So this is a good option, and this will give you a benefit of removing the clickety-clack on the keyboard that's built into the laptop, because obviously, as I explained before, your microphone is very near to that keyboard. So if you want to reduce that clickety-clack sound, this is the first option. Also, it's quite handy for other things as well. I always like to have an external keyboard, and it means that you can put the laptop that you're using, you can close the lid, you can move it out of the way if you wish, and you can still use a keyboard. So this is my first option, an external Bluetooth keyboard. Okay, so that's the external keyboard out of the way. Now, all the other options I'm going to show you in this video are all microphones and external microphones. So you can plug them directly into your laptop using a USB socket, a USB cable even, into your USB socket, and you can position that microphone around your desk. Now, there are two types primarily of microphones that you'll be looking for: condenser or dynamic. Essentially, it's just the way that they're powered which makes them different. From your point of view anyway, when you're using them. But you must be sure that they are powered from a USB connection, not anything else. So the more professional microphones are XLR powered, so they have an XLR cable, and the condenser microphones of the professional end of the price range, they also require something called phantom power, which is a 48 volt supply, which supplies the microphone and gives it the power. So you make sure that you need 5 volts only USB. All of the ones apart from the last one I'm going to show you are all condenser microphones and are all powered from a USB socket. So that's all you need to know on this one. And now for the rest of the options. So option 2 is actually the first of the microphone options, and it is this gooseneck microphone. Now, this particular model is an ivator G22 condenser microphone, and it looks weird. It looks like something from the 1970s and 1980s that you would use for a PA system in a factory. Would you please go to the manager's office? But it's not really. It's just a better quality microphone than you've got in your laptop, attached to a rubber stand, and that means it's flexible, so you can bend this to wherever your mouth is, and use that to take in your voice. Now it says it's omnidirectional, so it should pick up from both sides, and it has a little button on here, which it's a little touch sensitive blue LED that gets lit every time that you switch it on and switch it off. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just bring that in a bit more further. Blue on and off. Yeah, so if you want to have a listen to this, I'll just play that recording now. This is the ivator G22 condenser microphone. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust a while new. Open the crate but don't break the glass. Add the sum to the product of these three. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the vat over the hot fire. So that's option 2, the ivator G22 condenser microphone. Okay, so on to option 3, and another condenser microphone. This time it's the Samson condenser microphone. If it has a model number, I couldn't find it. If I could find it after I produce the video, I'll put it in the description. But the Samson condenser microphone is a metal-based microphone, has a little metal mesh, has its own little metal tripod, and is again USB powered. It also has some sort of preamp inside, because it has a volume button on the front and a little LED, a blue LED, to tell you if you're powered up. So the Samson condenser microphone sounds like this. This is the Samson Condenser microphone. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Add the sum to the product of these three. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the vat over the hot fire. And that's option 3, the Samson A30 condenser microphone. Okay, so option 4 now, and that's another condenser microphone, USB powered again. This is the Shure Go HSA652, another metal bodied with a metal mesh on the top. It has a tripod again, metal legs, and it has this time 2 knobs on the front. One of them is a volume or gain, as it's down here as. I think it's just down as mic actually. And one of them is an echo, although I'd probably leave the echo off. It also has a little headphone adapter in there if you want to get what's called a low latency output, so you can hear exactly what you're speaking into here, not add any latency to the system. And it also has a backlight, a blue LED backlight. You probably can't see it, but it actually will come into the surrounding of these rotary dials. So the HSA652, again, I've done a little separate review on this, and if you want to see that, click up at the top left or in the description, there's a link. But the HSA652 sounds like this. This is the Shure Go condenser microphone model HSA652. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Add the sum to the product of these three. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the vat over the hot fire. So that's option 4, the Shure Go even HSA652 condenser microphone, and that's how that sounds. So the final option now, and we're going to switch directly from just a microphone to a microphone with speakers in the ears. Yes, it's a headset. And this is the one I'm going to show you. This is my personal one, which I bought in 2015. I don't think you can get this exact model now. But this is a Plantronics Blackwire C320. And when you're choosing a headset, it might be obvious to go with something that is used for gaming, a gaming headset. But to be fair, I've heard gaming headsets and they're not always great. So I would always prefer to go to a company who makes headsets for the likes of call centers where people are rammed in talking all day and you've got to have a certain level of noise cancellation. This Plantronics one is actually used in call centers. So the 320 is dual speaker, so there's a headphones on either side. You can get the 310, I think, or I think now they're called the 320 and the 310, but they're very similar. The 310 only has one speaker on one side and in the headphone set, and anything with the 20 on has the dual headphones, which you'll probably want if you're not in a call center. So, and the good thing about this is, of course, is that if you put it in, it's got the full height adjustment for very strange heads like mine. You can put it on. They are foam pads, but you can get sort of the vinyl pads if you wish. They have the microphone that drops down, but of course, being used in call centers, you can use them, you can flip it over, and then obviously the microphone will come down the other side. And also the microphone is adjustable. If you have a look, it is again like the gooseneck, the first gooseneck microphone I showed you. It is bendy, so you can choose where you want the microphone away from your mouth. You may want to get rid of various sibilants or stuff like that. or but you can bend it, so I can have it, for instance, here, or I can have it way over here if I want, if that's better for me. So it gives you some options. This one is outside of the £10 to £20 bracket. I think when I bought this, this was about £35, but I have had it since 2015 and it's still perfectly good. The speakers are really nice in them. They're not too harsh on your ears. They're not too, you can wear them all day, and they don't make your ears hot or anything like that. So this is the Plantronics Blackwire C320, and it sounds like this.
This is the Plantronics Blackwire C320. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new. Open the crate but don't break the glass. Add the sum to the product of these three. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the vat over the hot fire.
Okay, so that's the Plantronics Blackwire C320. That's how that sounds. And that's the fifth and final option that I'm going to show you today. So how about some conclusions? So there we have it, some genuine solutions to solving poor laptop sound, even though you probably still don't think you need it, but you really do. Yes, I would advise purchasing an external keyboard and an external microphone to give you the most flexibility. But make no mistake about it, these microphones aren't going to get you the gig with the BBC. For instance, the headset probably sounds the worst out of all of them, but it does have other advantages, such as the microphone always being the same distance away from your mouth. But all of the microphones here, they will sound better than your built-in laptop mic, so why don't you make an investment in your career and your sound? Anyway, that's all for me from now. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you've enjoyed it, why not click like, subscribe, and click the little dingy bell so you'll be informed when I upload more content. Thanks for watching.